Welcome back, you guys, and let's talk the best free agent from every NBA team. We know about the tier 1 free agents that will get max offers on the first day of free agency, but there are some other players that will get interest too and will round the form of their new teams. We're going to go by divisions, so from the Atlantic Division to the Southwest Division. The playoffs are soon, so if you want to see those players before they switch teams, the best way to do that is through the SeatGeek app, who I want to thank for sponsoring this video. I have used the app in the past, and instead of having to search everywhere on the web for the best ticket prices, SeatGeek does all the work for you by putting every single ticket from that event into one spot for you to choose from. They then give those tickets a grade out of 100, so if it's green, then you know it's a good deal. If it's red, then you know it's bad. SeatGeek has a feature that lets you see what your view will look like before you buy, so you can make sure that's what you want. Remember, by supporting SeatGeek, you're also supporting me, so if you want to see a concert or a sporting event in the future, you can get $20 off your first SeatGeek ticket purchase by using my promo code CAINE when you check out. The Boston Celtics' best free agent available is Kyrie Irving. Remember when Kyrie told season ticket holders in Boston that he wants to resign? Then about 4 months later, he said he doesn't owe anyone anything and asked him about free agency on July 1st. This probably has been his best individual regular season, especially as a passer. I'm not going to pretend I have an idea of what Kyrie is going to do in a few months, but I will say whatever happens in the playoffs will play a role, but you never know with Kyrie. I wouldn't be surprised if he re-signs with Boston or he retires and starts his own commune in South America. D'Angelo Russell is in the last year of his rookie contract and is Brooklyn's best free agent this summer. D'Angelo will be a restricted free agent, which means that the Nets can match any offer another team gives him. This has been his best year of his career easily. He's recovered from his injury, and his shot making and decision making out of the pick and roll has improved. I think his free agency is going to play out like Zach LaVine's did last summer. Zach signed a 4-year offer sheet with the Kings. The Bulls had 48 hours to match the offer, and they did match it pretty quickly. Russell is 23, so you expect more development over his next contract. Can D'Angelo be a staple of a top 10 NBA offense over the next 4 years is the question I have going forward. The Knicks' best free agent this summer is DeAndre Jordan. He will be 31 years old this summer, and this might be his last lucrative long-term contract in the NBA, as his on-court impact has slipped in the past few seasons. He still is productive in ways, but his rim protection and overall defensive effort has dropped off. I would say he's about a league average center at this point. If the rumors about KD joining the Knicks become reality, I could see them bringing DeAndre back, seeing how KD and DeAndre are friends. The Sixers have a pretty good group of free agents this summer. They got Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, and JJ Redick. Tobias might be better than Jimmy if you're projecting long term for the Sixers, but I'm still going with Jimmy Butler. If you put Jimmy on this LA Clippers team or the Brooklyn Nets, it seems like a good fit. The Nets could use a proven shot creator and defender to get them up to the 50-win mark. I get the downsides of having Jimmy on your team, but people have been talking a bit too crazy about him. We just saw in that game against the Milwaukee Bucks that he is always giving effort and can make shots in the fourth quarter. Kawhi Leonard is the Raptors' best free agent. Even though he hasn't played in a single back-to-back game this year, Kawhi's been back to almost his normal self. I still think his 2017 season was his best year. The Clippers have been stalking Kawhi all year. They've been sending scouts to a lot of Raptors games. If he decided to join up with Gallinari, Lou Will, and Montrezl Harrell, that'd be a pretty good team. It's kind of hard to guess Kawhi's future. I could see a scenario of Kawhi leaving Toronto, even if they made the finals, or if they lose in the second round. It's going to be interesting keeping up with the leaks about Kawhi once we get to June. The Bulls' best free agent is Robin Lopez. He was a possible buyout candidate for playoff teams a month ago, but the Bulls didn't want him to go to the Warriors. He'll be 31 soon and definitely has a lot left as a starting center or a backup on a championship team. David Nwaba is Cleveland's best free agent. He is a 6'4" shooting guard that can be a rotation role player as a defender on a number of teams. Wayne Ellington is Detroit's best free agent. Since he signed in Detroit, he's shooting almost 40% from 3. A lot of people were hoping he'd sign with a team closer to contending for a championship than Detroit, but he was looking for consistent playing time, and this was a good call by him. He can't play much defense, but every team in the league needs shooting, so I'd expect a lot of teams to call Ellington's agent on July 1st. Bojan Bogdanovic is Indiana's best free agent, and in case you haven't been paying attention, he's been averaging like 22 points per game since Victor Oladipo went down with an injury. It's not crazy to think about Bojan getting a contract that is near $20 million a year. He went from a secondary playmaker to the best offensive player in just about a few months. He's a 40% three-point shooter and is willing to play off the ball, so he fits most teams' offensive styles. Chris Middleton is Milwaukee's top free agent. They already brought back Eric Bledsoe, so it's likely they bring him back unless there's a complete disaster in the playoffs, which I'm not expecting. He's going to command a lot of money per year. Like if he wanted to leave, he could get something like $25 million per year. If I'm the Bucks, you got to bring Middleton back because you don't want to mess up what's working and anger Giannis before his free agency in 2021. Dwayne Dedmon is the Hawks' best free agent, and I'm going to be paying attention to his free agency because he's someone that can impact a playoff team off the bench. You hear all the time about NBA unicorns, big men that can shoot threes and can switch on defense. Dedmon can do those things a little bit, but he's just not a super unicorn like Porzingis or Towns or something. Dedmon is a regular unicorn, which isn't a bad thing. Kemba Walker is about to get a massive pay increase this summer and is Charlotte's best free agent. It's about to get real depressing in Charlotte if they lose an all-star point guard. There was actually a report that dropped that said people around the league believe Kemba is more likely to leave than stay. I kind of want to see Kemba leave. Maybe Dallas to help out Luka Doncic on the perimeter. That'd be a nice fit. I would take a meeting with Dallas if I was Kemba. The Miami Heat have 3 possible free agents in Goran Dragic, Hassan Whiteside, and Rodney McGruder. Whiteside and Dragic both have player options which they can opt into or opt out so they can get a long-term deal. Whiteside is going to opt in because nobody is committing long-term money to him, and Dragic is an unknown because he will be 33 in a few months, so he's at the back end of his prime. If neither of them opt out, it's going to be Rodney McGruder who has a team option, which means that he can match any offers he gets and bring him back. McGruder is a 27-year-old shooting guard that is at best a 4th or 5th starter that plays off the ball or is a backup guard. Nikola Vucevic is Orlando's best free agent, and they're probably going to bring him back. About 9 months ago, we were talking about how the Magic are a disaster franchise with no real direction and too many big men on the roster. Now in March 2019, it's okay, what point guard can we bring in to build around Vucevic to create a top 10 offense? The Wizards have a few free agents in Thomas Bryant, Bobby Portis, Trevor Ariza, and Tomas Satoransky. If you're a contender, it's probably Trevor Ariza. Tomas Satoransky could help out too, but I guess I'll go with Bobby Portis if we're factoring in the long-term outlook also. He's a power forward that likes to have the ball in the perimeter or in the post. He also has a decent body of work as a three-point shooter. In about 20 games with Washington, he's shooting 40% from 3. Portis is probably going to get around $12 million per year this summer. Kevin Durant is the Warriors' best free agent and the best free agent available in 2019. He's going to be 31 in September. Durant is going to age well as a player into his mid-30s, so getting him on a 4 to 5 year max is not something you even consider the cons for, you just do it. It feels like even if KD wins another Finals MVP, there's a chance he might leave, which would be great for like 8 to 10 other teams who think they can make it to the finals. Patrick Beverley is the Clippers' top free agent. Beverley has been a big culture setter since he got traded there, and if they get a star free agent, you should try to bring him back as he can play off the ball. But he is also a target for other teams that may need a point guard like Phoenix if they get unlucky in the draft lottery. The Lakers have a few free agents: Rajon Rondo, JaVale McGee, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, or Reggie Bullock. If we're talking long term, it's got to be KCP or Reggie Bullock. It's pretty boring trying to nitpick the positives and negatives between the two. They've both been disappointing with the Lakers. I'd go with KCP with not much confidence. He's younger and a better defender than Bullock when he's focused. Since the Phoenix Suns traded for Kelly Oubre, he's shown he might be capable of handling a larger offensive role. He averaged around 20 points and 6 rebounds since becoming a starter in Phoenix, but how real is that? It's just a few weeks of play at the end of the year. He is restricted this summer, so the Suns can match any offer another team makes on him. They traded for him, so it's likely they bring him back. We will have a slightly more clear picture of what the Suns' plans are at small forward this summer if they bring him back. The Kings have a few free agents in Willie Cauley-Stein, Kosta Koufos, and Harrison Barnes. It's going to be Harrison Barnes who has a player option this summer. He can opt in for $20 million next year, then become an unrestricted free agent in 2020, or he can opt out and get a long-term contract with the Kings. It makes more sense to opt out and get a long-term deal with the team that you were just traded to. I didn't really like this trade honestly for the Kings, but it's their problem now. Isaiah Thomas is Denver's best free agent unless the Nuggets decide to do something with Paul Millsap's team option in the summer. IT has been pretty bad for Denver and not in the rotation anymore. If he's not scoring at least 15 points per game, you can't really justify playing him a lot of minutes because he gives up a lot on defense. Derrick Rose is Minnesota's top free agent this summer, and he's definitely set himself up for a long-term deal after scoring efficiently throughout the entire season. It wasn't too long ago when Derrick was waived from Utah and we did not know what was next for him. But what we do know is that he's going to get at least one more deal before his career is over. Which team is that though? Hopefully a playoff team as a sixth man. Markieff Morris is an unrestricted free agent this summer. OKC signed him a month ago to give him some depth and shooting at the 4. This seems like a rental for a few months, not something long term. Maybe a borderline playoff team will bring Markieff in this summer. Al-Farouq Amino is up for a new contract this summer and is definitely a very valuable player in today's NBA. He's a 6'9" power forward that can defend multiple positions. He's guarded Giannis, he's guarded LeBron, and he's guarded Durant with some success. If somebody is smart, they'll try to steal Amino from Portland for like $10 million a year. Besides standstill threes, don't expect him to create much offense, but he's needed as a low-usage, high-energy defender on a playoff team. Ricky Rubio is Utah's best free agent, and I would guess he finds a new home as they just tried trading him a month ago. I would like to see Rubio on the Bulls or the Phoenix Suns if their draft lottery odds get screwed. Both of those teams need a point guard that can actually pass the ball. Having people that are good passers and willing to pass are needed when you have a bunch of guys in the lineup that love to shoot. Kristaps Porzingis is Dallas's best free agent. They just traded for him. They made the decision to give up Dennis Smith Jr. and some picks to surround Luka with an all-star, so he's a part of the core now. I think Porzingis will get a deal like Joel Embiid did, but with non-guarantee clauses in his contract, so if he gets injured, the Mavs don't have to pay the full contract. Iman Shumpert is up for a new contract this summer. About a year ago, it seemed like he might be someone who'd be out of the league soon, but seeing how he helped out the Kings be competitive, he's got himself another long-term contract. He's been kind of rough shooting-wise for Houston, but I doubt they bring him back. He could be a low-end starter on another playoff team. Delon Wright is the Grizzlies' best free agent this summer. Knowing that they just traded for him and it's public that Mike Conley is available for trade, they're going to bring Delon back. Depending on your situation, he could either be a high-end backup or a fifth starter. The second to last free agent in the video is Julius Randle, and he is New Orleans' best free agent this summer. He has a player option of $9 million that he is most definitely going to opt out of. He's going to get paid this summer as he's averaging 21 and 8 on 52% shooting. Now, what team gives him a contract? Well, I could see New Orleans bringing him back once they trade AD to stay competitive. The final free agent in this video is Rudy Gay. Rudy has transformed his career in the past few years. He was known as a high-usage chucker that wasn't capable of being efficient to a really efficient player that can play within a team offense. I could see San Antonio bringing him back, but there are other options for him. Last summer, if you remember, the Warriors and Rudy Gay were linked, and if Kevin Durant leaves, he could fit right in at the 3. This one ran kind of long. I think this might be my longest video, I'm not too sure. So appreciate it if you made it to the end of this one. I'll see you guys soon.